are we waiting for?
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking here for the Built Ford Tough Studio, FedEx Forum. We're in downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope, or at least I wish, you could have been inside the grand lobby at FedEx Forum yesterday for a press conference that felt like much more than a press conference. John Calipari was back in town, created a sweet scene in downtown Memphis. We'll talk about it, talk through it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. In the next segment, John Calipari. He is the man who led Memphis to the national title game in 2008. 4 straight Sweet 16s between 2006 and 2009. Yesterday, it was announced that he'll bring his Arkansas Razorbacks to FedEx Forum on October 27th for an exhibition designed to raise money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. John Calipari is going to be on the show today. We're going to get to him in about 20 minutes. When I finish talking to Coach Cal, we'll take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, Pablo Torre has a massive NBA report this morning about how the Clippers possibly got a contract done with Kawhi Leonard, and it seems to circumvent NBA rules. It looks like they were trying to get around the salary cap. Could be in big trouble in Los Angeles. I'll tell you what Pablo Torre is alleging with lots of documents to back it up. We'll do that around 11 o'clock or so. Charles Barkley has criticized the NBA for creating deals with multiple streaming platforms. He said they don't care about the fans. I'll give you the exact quote. We'll do that in just a bit. Memphis football got 2 points in this week's Associated Press Top 25 poll. That's basically tied for 41st in the country, tied for 5th among non-Power 4 schools. I'll get you updated on all the numbers. We'll do that a little later on in the show. LSU coach Brian Kelly clapped back at Dabo Swinney after the Clemson coach said he'd give LSU a grade of 65 if he were grading their season opening performance. Keep in mind, LSU did beat Clemson. It's another war of words in college football. I'll tell you more about that. We'll do it in the third segment. And Novak Djokovic beat Taylor Fritz last night to advance to the semifinals of the 2025 U.S. Open. Next up, world number 1 and 5-time Grand Slam winner Carlos Alcaraz on Friday. That should be awesome. We'll talk a little tennis during a segment we call 5 more things you need to know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carryout. And and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to, but I did want to start with a fun afternoon here inside FedEx Forum yesterday. John Calipari was back in town to announce, in conjunction with Penny Hardaway and the University of Memphis, a big event coming to FedEx Forum next month. It's specifically the Hoops for St. Jude Tip-Off Classic. It's a doubleheader of exhibitions scheduled for October 27th. It's going to be at FedEx Forum. The Vanderbilt women will play the Memphis women. That'll be in the opening game. And then John Calipari and various former players who played for him at the University of Memphis, they're going to be celebrated for the 9 years that John spent here. John Calipari and some of his former players will be recognized for the incredible 9-year run that he brought to this city. And then after that's done, his Arkansas men will play Penny Hardaway's Memphis men. That's going to be an exhibition scheduled to tip probably a little after 8 o'clock. Tickets go on sale next Tuesday if you're interested, and I think that pretty much covers the details. Big Ben at the press conference. It started yesterday just as we were ending our show. So, we wrapped it up, did GP's carry out, and I walked on down. And I tell you, it was like a time capsule had been opened almost. John Calipari inside FedEx Forum, surrounded by his old friends. Felt like 2005 again. Van Weinberg from James Davis, he was there. Then I bumped into your uncle, Ken Bennett from Streets Ministry.
Shout out Ken Bennett.
Shout out to Ken Bennett. Sean Williams was there. Jeremy Hunt, Sean Taggart, Billy Richmond. They were all there. Lots of handshakes, lots of hugs. At the risk of sounding a little hokey, I really did think it was like a sweet scene. I caught myself smiling a lot, just walking through the lobby of FedEx Forum and seeing old faces and just smiling a lot. I liked being there. It appeared, by all accounts, that John really enjoyed being there as well. Big Ben Bennett, that man, John Calipari, he is responsible, as you know, for the best years of Tiger basketball. And for, I would assume, I don't want to speak for you, but your most enjoyable years as a basketball fan. I know you were hurt when he left. Lots of people were. But it was 16 years ago. A lot of time has passed. How'd you feel about having Coach Cal back in downtown Memphis yesterday? How do you feel about having Coach Cal return to FedEx Forum next month to coach against the Tigers for the first time since leaving the Tigers? That happened in March 2009.
Oh, I mean, it was awesome, and I'm so excited about it. I'm super glad that the university was able to pull this off in conjunction with St. Jude. Like, it was a cool event last year when they had North Carolina come in. And no disrespect to North Carolina, but this is
let's disrespect North Carolina.
No, this is just different, right? Like, we're gonna celebrate him and honor those teams before the game. It's bigger. This is bigger than an exhibition game for sure, and obviously while raising money for St. Jude, which is great. So I'm really excited about it. Like, as far as you mentioned, like, I was hurt when he left. I'll be honest. Like, I was not necessarily one of those people way back then that was like, how dare he? I can't stand it.
Oh, but there was a lot of them.
Oh, of course there was.
And they still exist, apparently.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was friends with a bunch of them, and still am. But the thing is I think I was able to in the moment. I was in school at the time. Like, I was going to college in Memphis. I was going to all the games. Like, it was a gut punch for sure.
Sure.
It was a gut punch. But, I mean, it was the Kentucky job, and I think even in that moment as a college kid, I was like, I kind of get it. Like,
well, then you were mature beyond your years, because not every...
But that was an unpopular opinion at the time.
It was certainly the minority opinion at the time. It was the less emotional, more sensible opinion at the time. But those people did exist, and some of them still do exist all these years later. And I know you just said you are friends with some of them. And I that's fine. You could pick your own friends, but I'm not. I wouldn't be. If you are in the year 2025 talking about, I hate John Calipari over something he did 16 years ago, I hate John Calipari because he left for the Kentucky job. Like, if that's who you are, I don't mind saying, like, I wouldn't be friend. I think you're weird.
You don't want to be their friend.
No.
Okay.
No, I just think you're weird. Like, it is nothing about John Calipari specifically. I just think if you hold that opinion, you're a weirdo. And if I tried to be your friend, we'd encounter other weirdo problems down the road.
Yeah.
I'd just rather skip all that. I got enough friends. I don't need to be friends with weirdos.
I think that people that in my opinion, the majority of the people that were upset about that at the time, I've got to believe that time has maybe, I won't say changed their opinion, but softened their feelings about how that, because I think most people just look back on that and are like, man, he brought some of the greatest years ever to that program. We had a freaking blast.
Let me correct you, and I don't mean to, but it wasn't some of the greatest years.
It was the greatest years.
He was the greatest run in Tiger basketball history.
For sure, no doubt.
Those 4 years from 2006 to 2009, that's the greatest 4-year run in Tiger basketball history. It's one of the greatest 4-year runs in college basketball history. It is not something that had ever been done before here. And respectfully, I hope I'm wrong. I'd love to be wrong, but I doubt it's anything that'll ever be done here again. Like, that was it. If you were a Tiger basketball fan between the years 2006 and 2009, that was probably the best 4-year run. 6, 7, 8, 9, those 4 years, 4 Sweet 16s, 3 Elite 8s, 1 Final Four, a trip to the title game, merely a missed three-pointer at the buzzer in regulation away from winning the school's first national championship in men's basketball. If you live through that and experience that, it is probably the best 4 years of basketball fandom you've ever had. And probably, if you are specifically a Memphis Tigers fan, that's probably as good as it'll ever get. My kids will probably never experience that, something like that.
And I don't think that's an indictment on the University of Memphis. I think that's more of just college basketball. Is like who Duke. I mean, they could have that. Right?
You ready for this?
Yeah.
UMass basketball will never experience what John Calipari did at UMass again, probably. And we'll see. It's possible Kentucky never has a run.
Right.
The way John had a run, 4 Final Fours, the way he was popping them off basically every other year early on, John Calipari could go down in history someday as the man most responsible for the best years of UMass basketball, the best years of Memphis basketball. And I know people won more national championships at Kentucky than he did, but like that run he went on at the beginning of the Kentucky thing that included John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, Devin Booker, Karl Anthony Towns, a national championship, multiple trips to the Final Four. That's an incredible, incredible run, and one that is going to have a hard time being replicated regardless of who the coach is at Kentucky going forward or where college basketball is at Kentucky going forward. So, he's a monster. That's how he's in the Naismith Memorial Hall of Fame. But back to my initial point, like, that guy gave this city, this community, this fan base, in many cases, the best years they've ever had, and perhaps the best years any of us will ever experience. So, as you know, because we talked off air, I knew I was going to go down to the press conference. I knew that I was going to eventually sit down with John. I didn't know if I was going to write a column about it. First off, it's September. College basketball is not at the forefront of anybody's mind right now among sports fans. It's football season. We just wrapped up week 1 in college football. The NFL season gets underway tomorrow. Nobody really cares about college basketball right now. This is a good time of the year to, if you got vacation to burn, it's not the worst time to do it. But I went down there, and again, it was just a sweet scene. Like a bunch of familiar faces and a lot of handshakes and a lot of hugs and a lot of pictures. And yeah, it was good to see John, but I can't emphasize this enough. It was similarly good. I don't want to rank things, but like to see Sean Williams, to see Jeremy Hunt, to see Sean Taggart, to see Billy Richmond, to see your uncle, to see Van Weinberg, to see like Dave Voloshin. It just felt like a time. There was a moment where I was in a room with all of these people all of the time. And because our lives go in different directions and our careers go in different directions, you're just not in that room anymore. But as often as you otherwise would be or used to be. But yesterday in that room, and I guarantee you a lot of people felt this way. I talked to Cal Veazey, who, of course, is a former journalist himself, now works with ALSEC. He was like, he gave me the quote, man, it's like circa 2004 in here. And it really did feel that way. So when I walked out of there, I was like, yeah, I got a busy day. Picked the kids up from school, and then we got a golf tournament, and we got a football practice, and that's all I do now really is pick up kids and just drive them from one place to the other. If I ever get to talking and it sounds like my life is exciting, just know that in reality, I'm just sitting in a car rider line, picking somebody up, waiting to get them, to a practice here or there. But I was like, okay, I got a couple of hours between now and then, and I could probably bang on a column, and let's see if I can get something out of this. So I sat down and started writing, and before you know it, I had 1,100 words and had more or less said what I wanted to say, which is a lot of what I just told you. It was a sweet scene, and John seemed excited to be here, and man, it took us a long time to get to this point, and maybe longer than it should have, although reasonable minds can disagree on that. But in the year 2025, we're finally here. In 2015, we clearly weren't, because if you remember, they tried to schedule a celebration of John Calipari. Dr. Rudd, the president at the time, had sort of created an idea of it, had run it by John. It was in the works and on the way to being a thing. And then it got announced in an unofficial capacity, if I remember correctly, and the pushback was so intense from some segment of the Memphis fan base that they canceled it. They just scrapped the whole thing. And it was kind of embarrassing, and it just seems sort of small. Like, we're going to celebrate the greatest coach who's ever worked here. The fans are like, ah. And he's like, okay, then we're not going to do it. It just felt like if you're going to do it, do it. And if you're not going to do it, don't bring it up. But to, test balloon it, and I don't think they were doing that intentionally, but to like, hey, I've got this great idea. We're really going to do this. Some weirdos go crazy on the internet, so you scrap it. It just felt like it should have never got to that point. But either way, 2015 was a different time than 2025. John was, if you remember, rocking and rolling at Kentucky. He had the best team in the country. He had already won a national championship. That 2015 team should have won another national championship. They were undefeated going into the Final Four. So the Memphis program was kind of, it had clearly fallen off since John left. And John was bigger and better than ever. And so if I'm being completely honest, though I've never once blamed John Calipari for taking the Kentucky job, I did understand in 2015 how those feelings were still perhaps a little too fresh to make it feel appropriate here in town. The truth is, if somebody would have proposed this to me, I would have said, listen, you honor John Calipari, I will say it's a good thing, but in this time in 2015, most people aren't going to feel that way, so you probably shouldn't even try to go down this road right now. It'd be cool with me, but I don't think it'd be cool with most. I would have advised against it. They went for it, and then when they got the pushback publicly, then scrapped it. I'd have tried to skip all that. But that's 2015, and a lot has changed since 2015. John's career has taken a turn. He's not the king of everything anymore like he was in that time at Kentucky. He was pushed out of Kentucky, run out of Kentucky, humbled a bit. I think he would acknowledge that was a weird experience for him. He'd been knocked off a little bit. He's at Arkansas and clearly doing well, preseason top 20 team, but he's not at the same place where he left you to go anymore, and he's not widely regarded as the king of the sport anymore. So perhaps if John was up here and Memphis was down here for a little while, it's not even still, don't get it twisted, but he's come down a little bit. Maybe Memphis is a little more comfortable. Time has a way of healing a lot of things. You've got a different athletic director here who really seems to understand how to see the big picture. You've got a men's basketball coach here in Penny who has forever had a good relationship with John, supported John while John was here, helped John recruit some of his players when he was the coach at East High School, and has forever been trying to get John to play him, whether it's at Kentucky or Arkansas. And so Penny is very open and receptive to all of this and comfortable with it, not weird about possibly being overshadowed by the former Memphis coach, because that could be a weird thing. I had this moment yesterday when I'm down in the lobby. Penny was there, and I talked to him briefly, and he was great. But, you got the guy who was the coach here, for 9 years in the early 2000s. He's widely regarded as the best to ever do it here. You might have a different favorite coach. Like you might love Larry Finch or love Dana Kirk or love Gene Bartow, but there's never been a Memphis basketball coach better than John Calipari work at the University of Memphis. That's just true. So if you're Penny, like that guy's coming back, it's a big shadow. Like some of the reason the expectations are set for you where they are is because of what this guy did before you got here. And now he's back and you're standing there as Penny Hardaway, but everybody's clamoring for John Calipari, and you can't help but overhear over and over again, man, I remember those days. Those were the best days. Man, I'd kill to be back there again. And you're like the head coach at the University of Memphis right now going, what? Kill to be back there again? I mean, I get it, but I don't want to hear it, right? So that's the type of thing that might be an issue for a different coach, a different man. For Penny, it's not. I respect that. He deserves a lot of credit for this. Ed Scott deserves a lot of credit for this. Penny deserves a lot of credit for this. I think John deserves some credit for being open to coming back here. He doesn't have to. It's not crystal clear. It's in his best interest. There's a different person who, after very publicly having a celebration canceled on you in 2015 by the University of Memphis, you might just say, no, I'm good. You guys can have your little American Athletic Conference program. I'm good. But he tries to be bigger than that. And yesterday was an example of that. And I just thought the whole thing was sweet. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to write about it. And I did. I banged it out. And then we posted it. And the responses were unsurprising, but still kind of like roll your eyes at it. I want to be clear. Like, I don't ever want to be the person who just reads 50 replies to anything and 45 of them say one thing and then there's 5 negatives and I just hammer in on the negatives. So, like, there was some positive responses, too. But honestly, on Facebook at least, I didn't keep a tally, but there was quite a few, like, negative responses to the column. And not really to the column, not like, GP, this is poorly written. I don't know how you ever got to school. Not that. I mean, just like, I don't want to celebrate John Calipari. I'll never celebrate John Calipari. Like a fella named Brendan, I'll just leave his last name out of it. I'm not here to try to. But this is what he posted. The only thing I celebrate is that he's not here anymore and that I don't have to listen to steady doses of cow crap. That's the type of reply that I roll my eyes at. You might be friends with that type of people, but if I were friends with that person, I would say, man, you sound silly to me.
Yeah, because, I mean, you were the same person that, like, was in the stands, like, cheering those teams on.
Well, let's just take it at face value.
Yeah.
The only thing I celebrate is that he's not here anymore. Really, you celebrate John Calipari not being here. You were bitching about him leaving. Now you celebrate that he's not here. It doesn't make any sense. It's just logically inconsistent, and forgive me for using this word. I've tried to do it less often than I used to, but it's stupid. It's stupid. I don't mind saying that. Like, if you, like, this Brendan person I find to be silly. Like, just silly. Like, what do you, I celebrate that he's not here anymore. He gave you the best years of Tiger basketball you've ever had. And if you were old enough to enjoy them, you enjoyed them immensely. The reason you're mad at the guy is because he left. Now you celebrate that he's not here? That's just a stupid comment. And I can just go on down the list. We will never forgive or forget. Forgive? Forgive him for what? Like, just, this is Bobby, different fella. I don't want to get you Brendan's and Bobby's mixed up. Forgive him? Forgive him for what? What do you think Bobby needs to forgive John Calipari for? Answer that in your own words. What is, if you said, John, I was on Facebook and Bobby, the Memphis fan, said he will never forgive you. For what? And John said, forgive me for what? What would be the answer?
I don't know.
Forgive me for what?
Yeah.
It doesn't even make any sense. Because you ready for this? Whether it's Brendan, Bobby, or any of these other weirdos on Facebook, you know what they all would have done if they were in the exact same situation that John Calipari was in? The exact same thing that John Calipari did, with few exceptions. I want to always leave open the possibility that there is somebody who grew up in Memphis, bleeds blue, went to Memphis, played at Memphis, got the Memphis job, and no matter what, they would have never left Memphis for any job. Indiana could call, Kentucky could call, North Carolina, Duke, the New York Knicks, the LA Lakers, the Boston Celtics. It does not matter. All they've ever wanted to do is be the Memphis basketball coach, and they were always going to be the Memphis basketball coach until they weren't coaching anymore. They would never leave under any circumstances. I don't know if that person actually exists. And by the way, don't say it's Penny Hardaway because he already interviewed for the Orlando Magic job. But let's say for the sake of the conversation, there's somebody like that. All right? For everybody else, literally everybody else in the world, you know what you do when the University of Kentucky from the SEC calls and offers you the job for more money than you were making? You're picking between staying at Memphis and Conference USA or Kentucky and the SEC. What are you doing? What are we even talking about? Like, he didn't turn down that job for the exact same reasons you wouldn't have turned down that job. And most of us in our own careers never turn down jobs like that. It's just an undeniable step up. Got to do it. And I think even for John personally, more so than most, because he had forever been on the wrong side of the so-called rope in college athletics. The two jobs he had before Kentucky were UMass and Memphis, an Atlantic 10 job and a Conference USA job. Think about that. This guy had been to 2 Final Fours before he ever coached in a power conference. Had gone to 2 Final Fours before what we now know as a Power 4 program would actually be able to lure him away. To be clear, other programs came for him at different times, but that should be another reason Memphis fans shouldn't be so weird about when he left. He turned down South Carolina for you. He turned down Arkansas for you. He turned down power conference jobs for you. He didn't just like come here, do the best he could, first time he can get out, get out. He was here for 9 years and only left when Kentucky offered. And that is what anybody would have done under those exact sets of circumstances. You would have taken that job. So if you're still a Memphis fan who feels some weird sort of way about John Calipari, I just don't get it. I personally never understood it. Like, it wouldn't make sense in my head, but I did understand how it made sense in other people's heads at the time. But in 2025, it's just silly. It's just silly. If Nolan Richardson can be welcomed back to Arkansas and be celebrated, and Bobby Knight once upon a time brought back to Indiana and celebrated before his passing. Rick Pitino recently brought back to Kentucky and celebrated for what he accomplished there. Then there's absolutely no reason, and fewer reasons than would be the case with some of those examples I just cited. There's absolutely no reason it should be weird for John Calipari to be back and celebrated here in the year 2025. It's just a reminder, I think, that I don't think these people, I know these are real people. I don't think these are real feelings. I think sometimes people post shit like this because they think it's what they're supposed to. They think they sound, I don't know how they think they sound. They sound stupid to me, but they think they sound something different than that. But like, you contrast real life with Facebook. Vernon and I talk about this all the time. This is not real life. I was with John Calipari about an hour yesterday. We walked through the forum, walked out the plaza, out front, walked through the office building, just walked through offices like, hey, how you doing? That type of. Everybody was glad he was here, greeted him warmly, happy to see him. That's real life. Bobby and Brendan, I don't think that's real life. And if it is, it's weird. It's a weird life you're living. Got a nice text message when I woke up this morning. Guess who from? Your old athletic director, R.C. Johnson.
How about that?
5:38 in the morning. He said I think that's the way he started the text. Just reaching out early on a Wednesday morning. It was R.C. Johnson, still living down in Florida. And the reason he was texting, he said, because when John was leaving here yesterday, you know what he did? Called him. That's how much it meant to John to be back here in an official capacity. He's been back here a lot throughout the years, to visit somebody, recruiting, but back in an official capacity for a formal press conference to announce a game against the Tigers, a game that a lot of people probably thought would never happen unless it happened to materialize in an NCAA tournament or some other in-season event. John's team and the University of Memphis both happen to be in Maui or at the Battle for Atlantis or Jimmy V or whatever. That game that was announced yesterday was not something we all knew would ever happen. but it got announced. And then as he was leaving town, John sat down with he took the time to pick up the phone and call R.C. Johnson and just say, hey, it was really nice being here.
That's
and said he would love for R.C. and Melva to come back as well. Like, we want to celebrate everything that happened here in those 9 years. And yeah, John's going to be the face of that. But players are supposed to be here too. And John would like R.C. and Melba to come back. If they can travel and it all makes sense and it's doable, he would like for them to come back. And that really is who he is. Like, I've said this for a long time about John. Like, I know there's a wide range of opinions about him out there. And like, a lot of the stuff you've heard that is like, oh, I think some of that's probably true. You know, he works in a cutthroat business. He can be cutthroat. But the other stuff, the good stuff you hear, like, that stuff's real too. Like, I don't know that I would have done that. Would I have thought, if I were John Calipari, hey, I got a million people pulling me in a million different directions. You saw it. He's surrounded by people at all times. Would you go, hey, just everybody calm it down for 10 minutes. I got to make a phone call. I'm going to call my old athletic director and just catch up with him. No reason. I don't need anything. He's not expecting a call. I don't owe him a call. I'm just going to do it because I know it'll brighten up his day, and it's something that I feel like I want to do. Like, I don't know that I would do that. Is that something is that the type of thing you do? I don't think like that. I'm more like, let's just move on to the next thing. He's got that in him somewhere. And when you hear him say yesterday, he cares deeply about this place and always has. Yeah, it got weird and awkward between the city, the fans, and him, but he has made it clear he cares about this place. And he did a nice job yesterday at the press conference talking about, you know, there's a lot of familiar faces here, but there's a lot of faces that aren't here anymore. And some of those faces were the people who were behind this program, this athletic department. You know, who is the next Fred Smith? Who is the next Mike Rose? You know, John went out of his way to invite a lot of widows to that press conference yesterday. He didn't want to just invite the widows, but they're widows. Couldn't invite the husbands anymore. But he still wanted them to be here. But made a point while here representing the University of Arkansas, putting pressure on the community to who are the young people who are going to be the next Fred Smiths and the next Mike Roses and the other people who have propped up that athletic department for so many years. Like, he didn't have to say those things. He doesn't have to even think about those things. He's not here anymore. But I do still think that he wants good stuff for this place. I don't know, just so I'm being transparent, that was always true. Like, when he left here in 2009, did he want Kentucky to go here and maybe watch Memphis? Oh, while all you guys are screaming about me, well, you'll see how important I was. I do think it's human nature probably I want this to go here, and I wouldn't mind seeing them struggle a little bit in my absence. You know, immediately after you and your girlfriend break up, you might not want her to start dating, you know, Mr. Universe or whatever. You might want that next relationship to not be so great so she can maybe appreciate you a little more. Perhaps I'm projecting here, but you get the point. I don't know that it was always true that John wants good things for Memphis, but I think it isn't undeniably true now. And part of that evidence is that he was here yesterday. He doesn't have to do this, but he was here yesterday, and it created a sweet scene in the lobby. October 27th, that's the date. He'll be back. Arkansas Razorbacks, Hoops for St. Jude Tip-Off Classic. Tickets go on sale next Tuesday. Vanderbilt women against the Memphis women. Arkansas men against the Memphis men. A celebration of the 9 years that John Calipari had here in downtown Memphis. He's going to join me in studio. We'll do that next.
The NBA announced their Dunk of the Year yesterday. It was voted on by the fans, and it went to Ja Morant for his double clutch through Porzingis and Derek White. The call of it was excellent. That game we hung on to for a long time last season, but it was a spectacular dunk.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hart, live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The boy is mine.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Let's go, Grizz, let's go! Oh, John Moran just broke the rim with that finish. Defense, take that ball! Defense, take that ball!
Jared with a rejection.
Give me that!
Moran digs at it, knocks it away. Picked up by Pippen. Bob, Brendan Clark.
Ooh, on that rim!
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Welcome back. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South. We're inside the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. And my next guest is a man who used to run this building. He's the head coach at the University of Memphis from 2000 to 2009. In that span, let's run through it. 5 conference championships, 4 conference tournament championships, 3 Elite Eights, 4 Sweet 16s, a trip to the 2008 National Championship game. It's Naismith Memorial Hall of Fame basketball coach John Calipari. John, nice to have you back in FedEx Forum.
Thank you. It's you forget this is a great building.
Yeah.
I mean, it's held up well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still, to be playing in this building, something special.
What's it like for you to just, I know you've been here personally a lot over the years, to downtown Memphis over the years. You still have real lifelong friends here, but to be here in an official capacity as the head coach at Arkansas, just walking through FedEx Forum, what's that been like for you?
Well, again, coming back, I've been here many times, and many times funerals, and as we get older, there's a lot of those and stuff that happen. But to be back here, knowing that this is going to help St. Jude, it's going to recognize Fred Smith.
Yeah.
Come on now, what he did as an individual. It's going to highlight the city and that what this great place is. There's not many cities like Memphis. And then the university. The new people have to step up because all the people that were really involved in this city, in every charitable event, many have passed away. Now, where are the young guys? Who's the next wave that's going to step up and make it about building the city and helping that university and all those kind of things? Maybe that comes out of this, and that would be a great thing.
Obviously, you're back here to announce Memphis versus Arkansas inside FedEx Forum, October 27th. It's an exhibition, proceeds benefiting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. It is a big deal, I hope you realize, for Memphians to have you back here. And I don't know if this would have always been as comfortable as it feels like it's going to be now, but it feels like we're in a good place now. Do you notice a different feeling than maybe you possibly would have felt 5 years ago, 10 years ago?
The truth be told, I would have never left unless it was something really like special and unique. And guess what? It was.
That's the thing.
I mean, that's what I did it for. Had a great run at Kentucky. Had a great run here. I mean, both places, the same mentality of we need everybody. We can't do this ourselves. We have to have goodwill ambassadors on every corner. And whether it was here or Kentucky or even UMass, it was kind of the same. I'm trying to do the same at Arkansas. I can't do this myself. Let's all come together. And you know what? Everybody's beginning to come together to build that program the same way. So what happens is people that weren't my close friends, many of them were here today. They came back, and we're going to meet over Blue Cities here in a minute. Though, some of the former players that still live here were there, so I got to grab them and see them. But you understand when I left UMass, they were mad.
Yeah.
When I left here, they were mad. Wait a minute. When I left the other place, I left Kentucky. They're mad and still mad and probably be mad for a while. But again, wherever I am, I'm doing everything. I'm giving every ounce of everything I have. And but it's more the relationships than just the wins. You could say what we did at UMass. You could say what we did here, what we did at Kentucky. To me, it's the relationships you build within the community, the relationships you have with your former players. This isn't about you're here for us to win. No, I'm not. No. Now, the seat I sit in, you've heard me say this many times, you cheat the position if you don't get involved in the community. But I'm here for those kids. That's why I'm here. I'm here to help them grow, and they'll bring to us all that we're trying to have done. That's why part of the thing I said, if you want me to come back here, we're bringing back my former players, or I won't do it.
Right.
And I said, because it's got to be bigger than just playing a basketball game, because many people want to play us in an exhibition game.
Yeah.
I mean, and for us to go on the road, this is the first time, and we're doing it here.
You mentioned former players. I was in there. I saw Sean Williams. I saw Sean Taggart. I saw Jeremy Hunt. I saw Billy Richmond. And we both reached an age where you are now coaching the sons of players you used to coach, and I'm now covering the sons of players I used to cover.
Antonio Burks, his son. Omami Thiero, his son. Billy Richmond, his son. Carter Knox, his brother. I had 4 players on my team where I coached their dads.
Does that matter to you?
I started when I was 12, so just don't think it's like...
Well, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but that would mean an immense amount to me that somebody I was around when they were young feels comfortable allowing me to be around their son when their son is young. Do you accept that as a compliment like I think I would?
I do, and let me say why I do.
Okay.
Because back then...
They hated you?
Not only did they... I was really hard.
Right.
And I pulled no punches. I kept it real. I held them to a really high standard. Made them uncomfortable almost every day. Yet now, 20 years later, they want their son to play for me. Okay. Now, there have been 5 or 6 others. Their son just wasn't quite good enough. I've taken some as walk-ons, but that's not, your son's a Division I player, but not going to play here.
Right.
So I've had that. But you're right. Can you imagine? I mean, they some of them I was hard on. Yeah. I can remember some of the things I did.
I can remember.
It's funny. Last night, Rigo Nunez started a thread. We have our UMass thread. We have our Memphis thread, and he started a thread and had a video of himself in our old gear, the UMass and all the players. And one of the things they were texting about, saying, and I said, listen, you guys, you did way more for me. I learned so much coaching you, and some of it was not what not to do. Right. And I wish I had more knowledge and I was a little more stable when I coached you guys. So you guys kind of got the testing of what we're doing, but yet they still stay together, that group of guys. And they still, the relationship they have with me, they still, and some of them, like even some of the guys at Kentucky, they're not all going to love you because it's about, look, I got to do what I'm doing right now, but I'm going to be there the rest of your life.
You mentioned looking back on the time at UMass, the time at Memphis. You obviously made an incredible impression here. You joked that you started when you were 12. You didn't, but you started very young, younger than normal. I think when you became the head coach here, after a stint in the NBA, you're still only 41 years old. Do you look back on that at being that young and and having a whole city on your back and incredible challenges and
no pro team yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember going to coffee and someone calling me and saying, "You're on the radio show. They're saying you're having coffee at." I mean, I'm like, this isn't healthy.
Right.
So I was happy the Grizzlies came.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it would be good for all of us, and it was. Didn't take away our season, take a base. It didn't. But here's what we haven't changed. The players still come to the house. Mm-hmm. We started doing that at UMass. I was 28 years old, 29, Ellen and I, and we had them to the house. Ellen and I have been married now 39 years, but we were doing it then. We did it here. Why? We lived right off Poplar, East Galloway. They could jump the fence and walk to my house. It was a minute away. We did the same at Kentucky. We're doing it now. And one of the we'll have a recruit in and we'll do something at my house. And they said, when did you start doing this? You don't want to say like 35 years ago. Right. But we didn't know. No one told us to do it. We just thought, well, there are kids right now. This is what you do. But yeah, it's, you know what? At some point I'll look back and say, we had a heck of a run. Right now, I've got one more job that I'm bringing every ounce of energy, feel great, mentally feel great. The kids still respond. If you walked in my practice, you would say, he got him. Right. They're responding.
If I walked into your practice in 2025, would it look like a practice I walked in 2003?
All the players that played for me in the 90s and in early 2000s say I got soft.
Right.
And it's probably, it's not that I don't feel a sense of responsibility, that I got something to do because it's big for the state of Arkansas. It's huge. We're the only pro team. Our football team, our baseball team, our softball team, all the golf, the track is 50. We're it. There's a responsibility. They just reseeded the house, raised $10 million a year. Well, that's half the rev share.
Yeah.
Well, those people that did that, there's a responsibility we have to put out a good team. It doesn't mean you win every game. You're trying to, but you put out that kind of team. So I still feel it today. But when I was at UMass, I had nowhere to go. I mean, my parents' basement, Aaron was born, Megan wasn't born yet, but I got a wife and a daughter. We had to make it.
If you don't, you're an assistant coach again.
Maybe, maybe not. Yeah. I mean, how do you know? Yeah. I didn't know when I got fired in New Jersey. I didn't know what was next. Yeah. I went to the Philadelphia 76ers and I was an assistant, only because Larry Brown coached the team and wanted me there.
Right. So you look back on the run here, and you mentioned that when you left here, people were mad, and I think that's probably as good of an explanation for why it took this long to come back and have this moment that we're going to have next month. You'll never remember this because your life was a blur and a million people approached you, but I remember seeing you at the Final Four days after you took the Kentucky job. And I saw you with the Kentucky logo for the first time. And even as a Memphis graduate and as a lifelong Memphian, I told you I was happy for you because I knew all the conversations we'd had, how important that was to you to get that type of job and have that type of offer. And I was even talking to Penny about it earlier, and he was like, no reasonable person. Like, it's the Kentucky job. What are you supposed to do? I came on radio the few days after and said it would have been impossible for him to turn this down. You should appreciate the incredible things he brought here instead of being mad about this. But I was in the minority. People didn't want to hear it. Were you surprised that it got as...
No, because when I left UMass after 8 years, the losingest program of the 80s, fifth losingest. Yeah. So 300 programs, it was rated 295 for a decade. 8 years later, I leave to go to the NBA as a head coach and president, like run a team. They were so mad.
And how many fellas? Nobody in the planet would have turned that down.
Right. Well, I did. I turned it down 3 times.
Okay.
They offered X. They offered this. They offered that. Then they offered that. I'm out. Right. I got to do this. Right. I mean, it's life-changing for my family.
Sure.
So, and I always say, people say, well, you didn't do it for the money. I did.
Yeah.
I did. I mean, Yes, I wanted to try the NBA, but I'd never been assistant, never played in the NBA. I'm NBA, I was seat of my pants. But if you're going to think and have that much confidence in me to pay me that much money,
right,
I'm doing it.
That's right.
And so when someone says, well, you didn't do it for the money, yes, I did.
Sure.
Now, after that, I knew probably not a good thing to make decisions based on the money.
Yeah.
But at that point, I did.
And to be clear, the Kentucky decision had nothing to do with money.
No.
Yeah.
No, and neither did the Arkansas.
Yeah.
I mean, what I'm saying is I left, I'll do just as well financially, so I don't need to worry about that. So you're making a decision, what's the best? Look, for me, where can I have the best impact? Where am I having no headwinds? Mm-hmm. If you're having headwinds or there's jealousy, whatever it is, unless you have to stay, obviously I didn't.
Right.
I said, okay, you know what? We're going to do this. And then I moved to the SEC again.
Right.
And then I'm in a program that won in '94 and has been to Final Fours and has a building and facilities off the charts. Support in that little corner, you know that postage stamp corner. Mm-hmm. What's out there?
Meaning?
What?
There's Tyson money. There's Walmart money.
Yeah, there's all kind of people. If they want to be involved, you're as good as anybody in the country.
That's right.
And so now all of a sudden, you're not battling. I'm coaching.
Yeah.
Now for me, I keep coming back to two things, and I'm going to do everything I can before I'm done to make sure we get this transfer rule in check.
Right.
In other words, transfer one time without penalty. So you made a mistake, the coach lied to you, you overestimated, whatever, you can leave. But any time after that, you have to sit out a year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that will help the graduation. A kid leaves every year for 4 years?
That's right.
Why is he leaving every year?
Chasing money?
Don't say anything else.
Okay.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
So it's based on extort and try to get, and then what's it
and
done?
losing college credits every time you move.
Every way. So in 4 years, you're not graduating.
Right.
You're not. There's no way. And no one's going to give you scholarship to finish your graduation. Why would they? You're a mercenary.
You haven't been a part of the program.
You're a mercenary.
Right.
Okay. What about the state or the city? They're going to help you. You're a mercenary.
Well, John, that's a big problem right now. I could march Memphis season ticket holders into the lobby earlier today. They would recognize Sean Williams and Jeremy Hunt before they recognize current Memphis players because the turnover is just so much.
Yes, and well, let me finish this.
Yeah.
So I'm saying it should be 5 years now.
Okay.
I shouldn't have my 18-year-olds coaching against 27 and 28-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like, think about what I'm saying. 18, 27, 18, 27. Now, what coach would coach 17 or 18-year-olds if he's being allowed to coach 27 or 28-year-olds?
It kills high school recruiting.
Absolutely. So let's get it in check. You get 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Old rule, 4 years of eligibility within 5. Or you just say, we're giving you 5 years. But you still, after transferring once, you got to sit out. All of a sudden, we cure 90% of our issues. Why is no one looking at this? Because they're all worried about money.
Yeah.
Everything is, that cures it for the players. We're doing them a favor. We're not taking away. I don't care about NIL. Give them all the money you want. But you can't let them just move to try to make more money. Now, here's what we're going to deal with, which, again, no one listens to me. My wife, I call the dog, he goes the other way. Poor thing, Palmer passed away 2 days ago.
Oh, no. That's a hard day, for real.
Yeah, it was. And so here's the whole thing. As this stuff happens, the kid goes to his fourth school, has no chance of graduating, goes to get a job. Now, I'm saying he was able to make $500,000, something like that, $600,000. Good college player, really good college player. He's done. No college degree. He gets a job. How much are they offering him in this United States of America?
Pay cut.
So he gets $60,000.
Yeah.
$65,000. Wow.
Yeah.
The boss that gave it to him say, I'm doing you a favor. What's the kid say?
This is nothing close to what I was making.
Do I have to go to work?
Yeah.
Do you give me a car? Do I get an apartment? Do I have to show up? Or are you just sending me money like I got before?
That's right.
We've done that to these kids. You're going to have mental health issues. And if you don't think so, you're just kidding yourself.
Well, there's a prominent, we don't have to name him, but college basketball player who took a bunch of Big 12 money last year, just took the most money you could take. By the end of the year, when his college career was over, he was in the locker room crying on camera.
Because he said, I didn't realize what this was going to do to me.
That's right.
But like you said, I just, everywhere I go, I'm talking to Congress.
Yeah.
I was talking to the White House.
Yeah.
There's an Arkansas grad in there. Those two issues. We're talking about trying to get the big bill. How about we just get the Congress to do those two things for us? Mm-hmm. And then let's figure out the other stuff ourselves. To me, yes, the score would be nice. But let's be specific, and those are two things that we need to cure for this game.
Couple more things before I get you out of here, because I know you got a busy day. At the press conference, you mentioned your wife, you mentioned your children. Everybody knows you coached here for 9 years. I think what gets less emphasized is Ellen lived here for 9 years. Aaron graduated from White Station, Dr. Calipari now. Like, this is an important place to your family.
Yep.
What's it going to be like to have them back here and presumably see their husband, their father get, received the way I think he should?
Well, Ellen, none of that probably matters to my kids. But what they will do is come back. Like Ellen said, I'm going to go to that game. I go, wow, because she doesn't travel on the road.
Okay.
And she said, I'm going to go to the game. And I go, really? And she said, yeah, I got a couple friends that I'm going to invite because I want to see them. They had children Brad's age or Megan's age. Megan was at Briarcrest. Yeah. So they have kids their age that Ellen got friendly with. So she wants to see them. So, look, 9 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like a 2-year flip and let's go. It was 9 years. UMass, it was 8 years. Kentucky was 15 years. Now, I started when I was 12.
I got you.
But, again, someone will say, well, how long do you want to do this? And I said, I want to help 25 more families. Let me help 25 more families. I'll tell you what will get me to stop if this becomes strictly transactional.
Right.
Like, I give you this and you do this for me. Then I'm not doing it. I don't need to do it.
Right.
But if it's still, I can have an impact. If you walk in my gym, you'll know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he's still being transformational. He's changing. These kids are going to move in a direction that are going to help them for the rest of their lives. Then you keep going. But why would I fight something?
Right.
Like a kid that's got money, well, I don't need to listen to you. I got so-and-so. They gave me. Or someone else is doing it, not me.
Right.
Like there's a third party doing this, and the kid's more beholden.
Because that's happening. There are people paying to put him on your roster.
So now, all of a sudden, they're more beholden to that guy than me.
Yeah.
Then I'm out.
Right.
I'm not going to do this. Transactional, nope, I'm not doing it. Never been that. Transformational, changing people's lives and families, because it's not just the young man. The ripple effect going forward and out, which is his immediate family, and then his family, his family's family, and his family's family. Can I do some humble? We got 3 guys that made $500 million, so $500 million. Our current guys in the NBA right now are making, the current guys that I've coached are making around $4 billion.
Yeah.
Did I say million or billion?
B.
Okay, it was a B. The retired guys they had made around $2 billion. The last 5 years, because in the last 5 years, they're making $200 million first contracts.
Yeah.
So within 5 years, that'll be $1 billion.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody has done that, and then Arkansas has had 9 players in the league, so they've done it, but it'll be on steroids.
Yes.
It's just, they've done it, but let's do this on steroids. And winning is a big part of it. Gary, the teams I had here that went to Elite Eight's Final Fours, guys got drafted. When you look back and you say, wow, they were first-round draft picks.
Oh, yeah.
And so, not just Derrick Rose.
Oh, yeah, no.
So it goes because we won.
Like Joey got picked.
Yeah.
Robert got picked. They all got picked.
So we got to win.
Yeah.
Like convincing kids, it's not about you, it's about us. And if you take care of business for you and we care about each other, we're all going to eat. And that's the thing that I've been able to do is convince kids to be good teammates and really good players, because I've been blessed. I'm not saying I've never had, but other guys have had guys as good as mine, and they haven't made what my kids have done.
Yeah.
Well, they were pros before you got them.
Well,
what about his pros before he got them?
You also coached the current MVP that nobody thought was going to be a future MVP.
And, well, I've coached 2 MVPs. But
yes.
You know how many other college coaches have coached 2 MVPs?
0.
No, there's 2.
Okay, let's.
Come on. You're a basketball Benny. I'm going to sit here. We're not leaving it until you guess.
Well, it's not K.
Don't Google.
It's not K. It's not K.
I'm not going
well, he's not current. Okay. I know.
No, it's not current. It's in the history of our game, and it's not him.
Okay, then it's Wooden.
Yes.
Okay.
Who were they?
Lou Alcindor. Bill Walton. Got it.
Good.
Okay.
Who's the other guy?
Other college coach
in the history of our game that has coached 2 NBA MVPs.
I'm going to go. I'm going to go. Guy Lewis. No,
he's somebody that's one of those guys that you would have said.
Okay, so Jesus, help me.
Michael. Dean Smith.
Oh, okay, of course. They did Dean Smith.
Who was his other guy?
So it wasn't James Worthy.
Yeah.
It's going to predate Michael.
McAdoo.
Okay.
So
have you coached at North Carolina?
No.
Yeah, no, you've never.
No.
Did.
Well, when you coached for Larry Brown, you coached at North Carolina.
Okay, I got it. Because they have a big pregame thing, and you see all these names.
No, that
you see all the names.
It's a little bit of a cult.
Yeah.
So if you worked for someone that played for Coach Smith, or played at North Carolina,
you know it all.
No, you don't know it all, but you know how they do things.
Okay.
That the Carolina way. Yeah. So no, but it's because I've been blessed. Their parents have entrusted me with their kids. Yeah, but you still got to get really good players to play together. And how about this? They all want long careers.
Right.
So what you got to do with individuals to make sure that they have a chance, like we've had some guys, our kids historically are underdrafted.
Yeah.
Where did Maxey go?
Like lower than he should have.
Where did Quickly go?
Yeah.
Okay. We had some guys drafted in the 2nd round that are still in the league.
Right.
Because my whole thing is it really doesn't matter where you get drafted. If you're trained to be in that league a long time, you will.
Right.
And you could be drafted in the 1st round or early lottery, and if you haven't been trained that way, the habits, the toughness, the being uncomfortable, it doesn't mean you're going to last a long time. Right. You know, every kid, I want to be in the NBA for a long time. All right. I've done that, but I can't do it for you. Right. You ready for this? We're all finding out coaches don't have magic wands.
Right.
You think you hire a coach, what was great about me going last year, I was so excited, Cows. Yeah, we were 0-5 in the league. Now, we had 0-5. I had to ask the question, has anybody in the SEC ever gone 0-for? Right? And it did the year before. My man at Missouri went 0-for.
Yes.
And then he lost one in the tournament game, so he's 0-for-19.
That's right.
Whew.
Yeah.
So we won our 6th game. We broke open champagne. The worst we're going to be is 1-18.
I remember the season.
People saying, we knew you'd get it going. I didn't know we'd get it going.
I was starting to question.
Yeah. I mean, it's so you don't have a magic wand. You can't do the work for them, but you can create a culture, and you can create an environment, and you can recruit kids that are good kids. You can't recruit a kid that's going to ruin all 11 families.
Right.
You can't have one guy that's going to be that guy, or you know me, I'm not dealing with it.
Yeah.
So you're either, and you know where you cure that in recruiting.
That's right.
I'm not promising you're going to start, but okay, I've started 3 freshmen a year like my whole life, more than any coach ever. But I'm not promising you that. You take what you want.
Right.
They have. Why wouldn't you do it? You want to promise, you're probably going somewhere else. I don't know how many minutes or shots. If you're my best player, you won't believe this, you're going to get the most shots. If someone else is better than you, they'll probably get the most shots. What do you want me to say to you?
Right.
But I know this, the result of playing here, there it is.
Right.
It's there, and that's fact. So, but transactional versus transformational. if this becomes all transactional, they're dealing with the third party's doing the deal and all. I'm not going to do this. I don't need to do this.
Well, like to your point, or to one of your points, over the years, you've sort of developed a reputation as the greatest college recruiter of all time.
Which I'm very overrated, but that's fine.
But I'm comfortable with that label.
You know why? Is because not because them coming in, because there have been other kids. We didn't get them.
Yeah.
If I was such a good recruiter, we'd have got them all. We didn't. You get half of them.
Right.
So I think I'm overrated, and it's because after they leave us, they do so well.
But what I think is fascinating about your career is that you are labeled as this 5 stars. He brings them in, and then boom. That is not the UMass story, and it's not really the 2008 Memphis story. Derek was Derek. Those other guys were just guys coming out of high school. That wasn't a bunch of McDonald's All-Americans that played for the national title in 2008. But that's a million years ago at this point. Let's focus on the present as we get out of here. John, I know you got a million places to be and a flight to Fayetteville to catch. So let me hit the headline one last time. It's going to be Arkansas at Memphis. It's going to be the Hoops for St. Jude Tip-Off Classic, October 27th, inside FedEx Forum. The game is going to be preceded by the Vanderbilt women playing the Memphis women, then John Calipari and various former Tigers who played for him. They're going to be honored before Arkansas and Memphis participate in an exhibition designed to raise money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Tickets, they go on sale September 9th. Mark your calendars. That's next Tuesday, and it should make for a really fun and memorable night at FedEx Forum. Again, the date, it's October 27th. I can't thank you enough for your time, and just broadly speaking, can't thank you enough for just bringing your team back here. You don't have to do this, and I know people are excited. It was clear in that lobby, all your old friends. I was talking to somebody, and they said it feels like it's 2004, and we're standing around in here again. So it's just nice to have you here. Good to see you, and can't wait to see you next month.
Thank you.
All right, when we come back, explosive story from Pablo Torre concerning the Clippers' pursuit of Kawhi Leonard. Sounds like they broke the rules to get him. Sounds like they could be in some real trouble. I'll give you the details and 5 more things. That's up next here on the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South.
When were you fine being a role player?
I always think of myself as a star player because I'm doing stuff that guys don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making winning plays. The whole goal of this game is to win basketball games. I think of Alex Caruso, he's a star player to me. Drew Holiday is a star player to me.
Yes, indeed.
TA is a star player to me. You know
First
what I mean?
team. Yeah.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. That's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk straight in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Big thanks to John Calipari sitting down with us. That was obviously, I think it was obvious. It was pre-taped yesterday. We back live now. I just wore the same shirt 2 days in a row. What do you feel about that?
It's a choice.
It was a choice.
Yeah.
I wanted to have continuity between yesterday and today with the blue hoodie. So I wore a T-shirt yesterday, and then I put on a blue hoodie, and I interviewed John Calipari. And then I took the blue hoodie off. I put it in my car. I kept it there. And then this morning I drove back here and I walked in another T-shirt. But then I put in the blue hoodie. That's for show continuity.
Yeah. But then he just told everybody it was pre-taped. So
I know, but I assumed if people were watching closely, they would see me get out of the John Calipari interview by previewing 5 more things, talking about a Pablo Torre story that didn't come out until this morning. So we had some timing issues that we had to resolve. But anyway,
fair enough.
As I was thinking about this interview yesterday, because there was this moment you might have noticed, you probably didn't, but you might have, where we start talking about North Carolina, and he's talking about the history of North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, have you ever coached at North Carolina? And what I meant by that was, because he was doubling down on the history of like North Carolina.
Yep.
And I was like, if you ever go to a North Carolina game, this is the point I was trying to make, pregame or at some point during the game, it just like it's a video they play. It's probably updated, but the last time I saw it, it was like Larry Brown pops on the screen, and it's like, I'm Larry Brown, and I'm a Tar Heel. And then it's like, I'm James Worthy, and I'm a Tar Heel.
Okay.
Then it's like, I'm Tyler Hansborough, and I'm a Tar Heel. And it all leads to, you can guess where it's going. I'm Michael Jordan, and I'm a Tar Heel. And the place goes crazy, right?
Yep.
And so the point I was trying to make with John, like, have you ever coached at Carolina? Because like they show this video at some point, and it's like you're hit in the face with the history of Carolina. And so and he says no. He's like, no. But I work with Larry Brown. And I'm like, yeah, but like coach it and everything. He's like, no. And I'm like, and so I swear to God, like I get done with that yesterday, I go do my day, get golf tournament for the kids and football practice for the kids. I get home last night taking a shower. And in the shower, this pops into my head. I'm like, I swear to God, I think he's coached at. How has he not coached at North Carolina? Like, I feel like I've attended Kentucky, North Carolina games at the Dean Smith Center. Like, and then do you know what he was? It was just a communication thing. He thought I was asking, have you ever coached, been on staff at North Carolina?
Right, yeah, because he worked with Roy, right?
I know. He worked with Larry Brown at one point.
That's what I meant, Larry Brown.
I was asking, have you ever coached in a game at North Carolina, against North Carolina? And he thought it was, have you ever been on staff coaching at North Carolina? So that's where the confusion came from. He has coached a game at North Carolina, just as the University of Kentucky coach. And then did you see him with his little pop quizzes? That was like taking me back to 2004.
Yeah.
Nothing more frustrating in a press conference.
He ain't letting you run the show, buddy.
Well, first off, he loves to ask questions. Like, hey, I like to ask questions.
Yeah.
I'm not here to take a pop quiz, John Calipari. He says all the time, we'd be in the little media scrums. I'd be his beat writer. There'd be like 5 of us there, right? You know, it'd be there's Glenn Carver, and there's Mike Sadie, and there's Jarvis, and whoever else is there. And he just starts asking and you're not always prepared for the test.
Yeah.
You know? But he won't give you the answers. And so I found myself yesterday. I was like, well, this is the first time I've been in a pop quiz with John Calipari in a while.
I thought you did pretty good.
Felt young again.
Yeah.
Felt young. It's nice to be in a pop quiz with John Calipari again. It makes you feel young again.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice for him to sit here.
It was cool.
He would sit here for 30, 40 minutes, however long that was. And then afterwards, he was going straight to Blue City to have a lunch with former players and, other businessmen and old friends of his who were here. So, and he was awesome with everybody up here, and everybody up here seemed happy to see him. So it was just it was a good day. I appreciate him being here.
For sure.
Appreciate John Calipari being here. And again, hoops for St. Jude Tip-Off Classic, October 27th. He'll be back with the Razorbacks playing against your Memphis Tigers with proceeds benefiting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Oh, Benny. Well, you paused. I thought you were just... I was trying to provide continuity as well.
I understand what you were doing.
Yeah.
Let's just go straight to it. Story number one. Pablo Torre's podcast is quite the interesting little thing. It looks like he's broken.
It's a big story.
Looks like he's broken another big story that could lead to big changes in a professional sports league. You know, he's had the deep dive on Jordan Hudson and Bill Belichick that got a lot of attention.
That's right.
He had the investigative piece on the NFL Players Association.
Mm-hmm.
They got multiple people to resign. And now this morning, he has a new episode. It's about an hour, 25 minutes or so. And he promoted it yesterday by tweeting, tomorrow morning's episode is something I've been working on for 7 months. And so I was like, okay, this will be interesting. And he published it this morning, and it is an investigative piece, an investigative podcast. Basically, he's taken like true crime, the thing that makes true crime podcasts sometimes work, like these investigative ones where, you know, people's like, I'm going to dive into this unsolved mystery and try to figure it out. And then we all listen and we see where they go. He's sort of taken that with sports, blended them together and come up with something pretty unique and compelling. And so this one is an investigation into a questionable deal that Kawhi Leonard had signed, basically an endorsement deal with a company called Aspiration for $28 million. So, as Pablo explains it, Kawhi Leonard's a Clipper. He's getting ready to sign a contract extension. And when he signs it, first off, there was some people were surprised initially when Kawhi Leonard picked the Clippers. And then he signs this contract extension, and it also raises some eyebrows because it just is unusual. And there's some obvious questions that anybody who understands these types of deals would look at and go, I wonder why he did that. Like if Bobby Marks were looking at this deal, you might go, okay, Kawhi Leonard back to the Clippers, 4-year, whatever. But like there's some things in here that I wonder why he would do that, agree to that. He didn't seem like he had to agree to that. Why would he agree to that? So there's always been like a hint of that's unusual.
Yeah.
But it was always kind of dismissed, I guess, by most because it's like, it's Kawhi Leonard. Everything's unusual with him. How he left San Antonio, how he never speaks. Can he play? Can he not play? He says nothing. And so he's just like among the biggest mysteries in sports. Like that's probably an accurate label for him. Among the biggest mysteries in sports. We don't hear him talk. We don't know much about his personal life. He's not in a lot of commercials. He's not out in front of anything.
Right.
He's just an awesome basketball player who plays sometimes. When he plays, he's awesome. More often, he doesn't play. Outside of that, we don't really know much about him. So it was always like this weird stuff connected to these contracts, but it was just like, well, that's Kawhi. Everything's weird, whatever. Yeah. I can tell you, hand to heart, there was a time where I'm not an NBA reporter. I'm not trying to imply that I am, but I was somewhere with a bunch of NBA guys, like whether it was Woj and Chris Mannix and just, it feels like it would have been Vegas, but I don't know. I just remember being in a room with NBA people and the Kawhi Leonard recruitment came up. And I just remember somebody saying like, yeah, they're asking for a lot of stuff. And some of it, you know, like private plane. I remember like these conversations like, and isn't that like, you can't do that. You can't tell a player we'll sign you to a max deal and give you a private plane because that's circumventing the salary cap. Like that's not allowed. And I hesitate to even tell that story because I remember when I broke a big story one time, there was a chorus of people who were like, oh yeah, I'd heard about that. And I was like, well, then you should have done the story. I'm the one that did it. I did it. I went and did it. So congrats on hearing about it, but you didn't do shit. I did it. I remember being bothered by that. Like I got this story and everybody was like, yeah, I heard about that. Well, okay, but you didn't put it out there. You didn't get it done. So who cares what you heard about? So I realized I'm kind of doing the same thing, but I wasn't trying to report it. It's just something I heard. Anyway, podcast comes out this morning. What Pablo has discovered in a pretty undeniable way is that there was this company called Aspiration. And it was like a save the environment type company.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very easy thing to get rich people to gravitate to because it was like a PR thing. Like, yeah, you might see me in my private planes, but I'm working with Aspiration and we're saving the earth. And it was like, if Leonardo DiCaprio takes a private plane and the equivalent of that destroys 17 trees, he would then partner with this company that would plant 17 trees. So you're making up for your carbon emissions. You're not hurting the environment. You're doing what you do, but you're making up for it and you feel good about yourself. I care about the world, right? So it was easy to get these rich people roped in. Robert Downey Jr. was involved. Drake was involved. Like big Leonardo DiCaprio, big stars. Well, there's a document. And these big stars, by the way, they were brought in as like spokespeople. Retweet this, post about this. If you're in an interview, maybe mention Aspiration. They all have certain things that they're required to do in exchange for the money that they're getting. So it's just like any other endorsement deal. Hey, I'm going to sign an endorsement deal with Dr. Pepper. Now, Dr. Pepper needs me to be in a commercial. They need me to show up here. I'm going to do all these things. You're going to give me the money. These are the way these things work. So among the people who signed an endorsement deal with Aspiration is Kawhi Leonard for $28 million. And in the contract, it details what he's expected to do. Post this, retweet this, sign 50 balls. But then there's a clause in the contract that says, but if any of these requests run counter to your beliefs, you are not obligated to do any of these things. We don't want to ask you to do anything that runs counter to your beliefs. So it's a $28 million endorsement deal with this company called Aspiration to do various things that, by the way, ain't anywhere close to $28 million. David Sampson, who used to run the Marlins, who now works with me at CBS Sports, was on the podcast. And he's like, if you're going to sign somebody like Kawhi Leonard to this type of deal and require him to sign balls, you would require him to sign 1,500. This was 50. It's nothing. But guess what? The clause in the contract that trumps the whole thing says he doesn't even have to do that. All you have to do is say, no, I don't believe in this. Runs counter to my beliefs, and you don't have to do it. So, go ahead. Ask me, what did Kawhi Leonard do for Aspiration, this company that signed him to a $28 million endorsement deal?
What did Kawhi Leonard do for Aspiration?
Literally nothing. He's never mentioned. Like, there's a Rolling Stone article about Drake, right? This is back in 2020, 21, before Drake got his head beat in. Colonizer. And Drake's like doing an interview with Rolling Stone about something, and then he just sort of mentions Aspiration. It was probably how Rolling Stone got the interview, if you really want to know how this stuff works. Drake's people call Rolling Stone and say, hey, we can get you a sit down with Drake. One condition. You got to let him mention Aspiration. It's got to be in the story somewhere. This happens in our business all the time. Some company reaches out and they say, hey, would you like to have Steph Curry on? Like, yeah, we'd love to have Steph Curry on. Okay, but you're going to have to mention this new Under Armour deal that he's working on, and just mention at the end, mention at the beginning, ask him one question about it, and then talk to him about, whatever you want to talk to him about. What was it like to lose Klay Thompson? But just to have Steph Curry, you got to mention this, and then we're good. And that's, what Rolling Stone did with Drake. So there's a Drake article out there in Rolling Stone where he mentions his company. There is no such thing with Kawhi Leonard. He never mentions it anywhere, never mentions it in a press conference, never signs anything for them, never retweets, nothing. I mean, literally nothing. It's a $28 million no-show job. He got $28 million to do nothing. Now to the good part. Guess who's co-owner of the company?
Steve Ballmer.
The owner of the LA Clippers.
Yeah.
One of the 6 richest men in the world, richest people in the world. And so if the question is, why would this company, Aspiration, sign a basketball player, and not even like LeBron James or Steph Curry or Kevin Durant, like somebody who like the whole world knows? I mean, Kawhi Leonard is an excellent basketball player, a champion. But he's just like, he never says a word. He's not like the type of guy you see on TV all the time. Charles Barkley's worth more to you than Kawhi Leonard if we're doing this type of stuff. Why would they sign him to a $28 million endorsement deal? Period. You can just stop right there. But especially when they don't actually require him to do anything. It's just $28 million to do nothing. Why would they do that? What kind of company does that? The kind of company owned in part by the LA Clippers owner as a way to sweeten the pot for Kawhi Leonard. If this were college athletics, it would be called cheating. Mm-hmm. If it were college athletics, it would be the equivalent or at least something similar to this. Pre-NIL, pre-revenue sharing. This used to go on. You could find stories like this. It happened at Memphis. All right. You know we can't offer this, and this in violation of NCAA rules, but do you have a friend who you would like us to hire? We can put your friend on staff at, $200,000 a year. Invent a job for him. So we'll give you the scholarship and we'll take care of you. It's fine. But I can also give your best friend a $200,000 a year job if you just sign with us. And that was a workaround. Sweeten the pot. That's what Steve Ballmer allegedly did here. To be fair, the Clippers, Steve Ballmer specifically, have denied it and said they can prove that this isn't as it appears. But give me the other explanation for it. Tell me the explanation for it. Why is this company that you invest? Oh, and the number? Steve Ballmer invested $50 million into this company, and then $28 million was supposed to come out of this company straight to Kawhi Leonard for nothing. What is the explanation for it if it isn't what it appears to be?
Wonder if we'll ever find out.
There's no. Yeah. This is one of those things where you can keep saying you didn't do it for these reasons, but you can't give me another compelling reason to do it. I don't think.
I don't think so.
They haven't provided it yet. Why is this company that you invested $50 million in giving $28 million to Kawhi Leonard for nothing? And oh, by the way, the clause in the contract that can actually terminate the contract, it's not if you refuse to show up, refuse to retweet, refuse to endorse. You know what the clause in the contract was that would void this $28 million deal? If you don't play for the Clippers anymore.
Dang.
If you don't play for the Clippers anymore, this contract's void. So who knows where it goes from here, but it looks like it is cheating of the highest level in the NBA and the type of thing they do not tolerate. If you want to ever understand why the NBA is mostly free of what we would call in college athletics recruiting violations or under-the-table deals, and also in the NFL, why we're mostly free of that stuff, it's because it is sort of baked in to the understanding if you get caught trying to circumvent these rules, we will make you get rid of your franchise. You don't get to own this anymore. Well, if the University of Memphis gets caught cheating in basketball, they don't take the basketball program away. They here's a fine and here's some scholarship reductions, but the penalty has never been that harsh, or at least hasn't been that harsh for a while. So the possible good from violating the rules outweighed the possible bad of getting caught violating the rules. But in the NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, that's not really true. You get caught doing something like this, they can make you sell your team. That's why it usually doesn't happen. There's been rumors before, I think, when the Nets were owned by the Russian billionaire. I want to say there was a Russian player that signed with them, and for less money than people thought it should be. And there was some whispers like, I wonder what's going on there. Because this would be a very easy thing to do, or at least maybe not an easy thing to do, but a thing you could do in the real world. Hey, the NBA rules say we can only offer you $14 million, right? That's all we can offer you is a 1 year, $14 million deal. But I can get you another 10 on the side. Just I can make it happen. But in the NBA, it's like, if you get caught, you can do it. But if you get caught, that might be it for you as an NBA owner.
Yeah, true.
So you're just conditioned not to even think it. People don't even think. It's not July 1st. Free agency's here. And it's not like a who's cheating, who's circumventing the salary cap. We don't talk about this stuff. But allegedly it happened here. And we'll see where it goes from here. But there's some thought that it could lead to the end of Steve Ballmer in LA. There's also some thought that he's too rich and too powerful to actually be forced out. So you just punish him, and hopefully it never happens again. But this is a huge story, and another sort of example of Pablo doing really good, strong journalism, investigative reporting in the form of a podcast. So I give him immense credit. He's taken offense on some level to people just calling him a podcaster. He's like, no, I'm a reporter. I've done real reporting, and I can still do real reporting and then bring it to my podcast. And people are sort of like, whatever. That's been a thing that's been going on below the, just on social media perhaps. But he did it again. And this is a huge story, and I can't wait to see the fallout because I assume there's going to be some.
Number 2.
Charles Barkley went on a podcast with Bill Simmons yesterday and said, among other things, that the NBA doesn't give a shit about its fans.
Damn.
And when pressed on that, his explanation was, well, look at what they've done with all these streaming services. You're now asking your fans, in addition to subscribing to, League Pass if they want to, but if you're going to be a NBA fan going forward, you've got to have ESPN. You've got to have Amazon. You've got to have Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
And though some families are fortunate enough to have all of these things and don't even really think about it, it is undeniably true that not every family has these things. Not every basketball fan has these things. And there is going to come a time, lots of times, when there's games available that people want to watch, NBA fans, and they say, well, I don't have Peacock or I don't have Amazon, and I guess I can't watch tonight. And you will take some eyeballs off your product by separating into so many different streaming platforms. I don't think there's any argument to the contrary.
I mean, the NFL asked the same thing, right? Like it's the same exact scenario, basically.
But here's the thing. The NFL is the type of product that people will say, well, I can't not have it because every Sunday is so important. I can't not have it. But is the Wednesday night in the NBA regular season in November that important? Do I have to have Peacock, or can I just not?
Yeah.
I heard Chris Harrington talking about this. He loves the NBA, but he doesn't have all of the subscriptions that you're going to need to have to watch every NBA game available next season.
Mm-hmm.
And what he said was, I guess there'll just be nights where I go, well, I guess I can't watch that game. But I'm just not going to subscribe to a million things just to watch regular season basketball. And if he is of that opinion, now he's a different dude, but it's a man with disposable income and a man who loves basketball. And he just says, I'm just not going to do it. And I think this is a real thing in sports. As we go down these paths, it's one of the reasons I told you I'm excited about UFC coming to Paramount Plus. Now, I know it's a streaming service, but it's a streaming service I already subscribe to. So when these big cards are announced, I know I'm going to have them. There are countless times over the years where I'm sitting around on a Saturday night, everybody at my house done fall asleep, and these big UFC pay-per-views are about to happen. And I'm like, man, I guess if I could just hit boom and it would just come on my TV, I've already paid for it, I would watch that right now. But I'm not going to throw another $100 just randomly on a Saturday night onto a UFC pay-per-view. I mean, I guess I could, but I feel stupid. I feel like I don't even really care that much. I would watch it if I could, but to throw another $100 out of it, I feel like I'm just being wasteful. So I'm not going to do that. I'll be wasteful in other ways. So there are times where I go, I would like to watch this UFC fight right now, but I'm not going to pay extra for it. So I just won't watch. And that's going to happen to the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, we were like, when television or sports streaming started, everyone was wrong about it that thought that it was because the whole argument was you're going to pick what you want, and it's going to you don't have to pay for a cable package. It's going to say no, you pay. Everyone's paying more now.
Yeah. The argument was I don't watch. Let's say you.
I don't need this channel, this channel, this channel.
Yeah, I don't watch Fox News, or I don't watch CNN, or I don't watch Nickelodeon. I don't watch Disney Channel. Whatever it is you don't watch, people got to a point where they said, I'm paying for 300 channels and I only watch 20 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I should have to pay for the other 280. Man, wouldn't it be nice if you could just buy your own stuff? And it's like, oh, I got good news for you. We're about to break things out. You can buy little packages.
Yeah.
You want to buy your little Hulu package? You can buy your little Hulu package. You want to buy your little ESPN package? You can buy your little ESPN package. And now you can just buy exactly what you want and nothing else. So we're all doing that. And guess what our bills are?
More expensive than if we just had cable.
So you know what people are saying now?
Uh-huh. Let's go back.
I
Yeah.
wish you could just buy everything together.
That's so true.
We were buying everything together, and you guys complained about it.
Yeah.
I never cared.
Y'all are wrong.
Y'all were wrong.
Uh-huh.
We were
right.
We were
Yes.
buying everything
We were
together,
right.
and you guys complained about it. And now we're not buying everything together. You're complaining about that and wishing it was the way it used to be. You know? So I think Charles Barkley is right. I think you're right. And it'll be an issue for the NBA going forward. That's a product that they're already having a hard time getting people to like care about until the playoffs start. You know, we care about opening night, Christmas, and then wake me up when the playoffs get here. And now you're making it, if not harder, at least more expensive for people to watch it. There are people who have been subscribed to cable / TNT forever. And when you put your games on TNT, if they want to watch them, they can. Those same games are going to be somewhere else this year. And those same people won't have access to them unless they do something about it. And a percentage of them just aren't going to do anything about it. They'll just sit it out. They'll watch something else. And I don't know that means it was a bad move by the NBA, but there is a chance it could cost you viewers on random nights throughout the season.
Number 3.
Memphis got 2 points in the latest AP poll that published yesterday. That puts them basically, the Tigers, tied for 41st in the country and tied for 4th among non-Power 4 schools. If you take it out past the top 25 and just start adding up points, USF, coming off that big win over Boise State, would come in at 33rd, Tulane at 34th, then tied at 37th. I'm only talking non-Power 4s here. Tied for 37th, UNLV, James Madison, Liberty. Tied for 41st, Memphis and Navy. The good news here, and we talked about this yesterday, so we're going to do a lot of this until the season falls apart, and hopefully it never does. But we're going to do a lot of this. Where is Memphis relative to other non-Power 4s? Because that's what you got to be, the best of them. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be better than Georgia to get to the college football playoff. You don't have to be as good as Georgia. You ready for this? You don't have to be as good as Arkansas. You can lose to Arkansas in your home stadium and still make the college football playoff reasonably if you're the University of Memphis. So let's just talk about the group of 5, the non-Power 4s, and how you are within them. There are 2 American teams ahead of you in the AP poll, and 1 tied with you. So you're in the top 4, 2 are ahead of you, 1's tied with you. You get all 3 of those teams at home.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's set up for you. You're going to be favored in every one of those games.
Up.
The other, if there are 4 legitimate college football playoff candidates from the American, they are Memphis, USF, Tulane, and Navy. You play those other 3 schools, and you get them all at Simmons Bank. You don't have to play any of them on the road.
Okay.
Meantime, so that means, and by the way, I already looked at Massey ratings, you're favored in all those games. Okay? You're favored in all of them. That means, by definition, USF, Tulane, and Navy are not favored in all their league games because they can't be if you are, because they all play you. All right?
All right.
So you have an advantage over them right now. You should, based on the projections, finish ahead of them. As long as you knock out the conference championship game, whatever. But based on the regular season schedule, you should finish ahead of them. UNLV is the highest rated Mountain West Conference team, but they have to play Boise State on the road.
That's right.
They will be an underdog in that game. They are expected to lose a conference game. And then James Madison is an underdog at Louisville this Friday, but then they should be favored in every conference game. So we'll deal with that when we have to deal with that. And then Liberty, getting votes in the AP poll, but expected to be an underdog in each of the next 3 games, according to MasseyRatings.com.
Not sweating Liberty, dude.
Not sweating Liberty. Not sweating Liberty.
No offense. I'm not sweating
No
CUSA.
no offense,
Sorry.
but I'm not sweating Liberty. So UNLV still has to go to Boise State. Liberty's underdogs in the next 3 games. James Madison underdog in its next game. And Memphis is going to be favored in every conference game it plays. It's right there, Bennett.
It's right there.
You just got to go grab it.
We got to smash Georgia State this weekend.
That's my plan.
I don't even want to sweat it.
I'm not sweating it.
I think I'd like to be up, maybe 2 touchdowns after the first quarter. Just let's jump on them.
That's my plan.
Let's jump on them.
My plan is to jump on Georgia State. Tigers roughly a 14-point favorite there. We're on our way to an undefeated season, Bennett. That's what I'm hoping for.
Let's go.
That's what I'm hoping for, at least. Tigers up to tied for 41st in the latest AP poll.
Number 4.
Oh, we got another war of words between college football coaches. This one involves Brian Kelly and Dabo Swinney. So LSU beat Clemson 17-10 in week 1. And Dabo gave an interesting quote about that after the game. I guess it was his Monday press conference. He was asked to look back on the season opening loss to LSU. And he said, it was a hell of a game down to the last play. Right out of the gate, it's like getting the final exam on day 1 of class. They made a 65. We made a 58. Neither one of us were great. So Brian Kelly, he's sitting down in Baton Rouge. They bring this to him at his press conference yesterday. You know what he said? He said, who is Dabo Swinney? Grading my team. I thought we dominated them in the second half.
I was going to say, I would think that my defense is great.
So
they scored 10 points at home.
And 0 in the second half.
Yeah.
He said, so either Dabo's a really good grader, giving himself a 58, or he's a really hard grader on us. I don't even think you deserve a 58, but I know we don't deserve a 65.
Wait, I haven't been in school for a long time.
Okay.
Those are both bad grades.
That's what Brian Kelly was upset about.
Yeah.
We just beat Clemson on the road.
Yeah.
And you're giving us a 65 as our grade?
That's a F. Isn't that a F?
I think where I grew up, that's a F.
I think that's a F. It might be a D.
We just beat Clemson on the road and you giving us a 65? What? Giving yourself a 58? Yeah, maybe you deserve a 58, considering we outscored you 14-0 in the second half, considering we outgained you 354 yards to 261, first downs 25-13. I understand why you might give yourself a 58. You stunk.
Yeah.
But we beat a top 5 team on the road. Shut them out in the second half. You giving us a 65?
I think that's worthy of at least a C+.
I'd give them a B.
I probably would as well.
I'd say, I don't like you trailing at the half, so I can't give you an A. But I can give you a B because it's a top 5 win on the road. Brian Kelly, clap back, Dabo Swinney. I think he handled the situation well.
Number 5.
U.S. Open continues to unfold in Flushing, Queens at Arthur Ashe Stadium, among other places. And Novak Djokovic last night advanced to the semifinals.
I watched.
I had it on.
Tennis is so weird, dude.
What's so weird about it?
Because who's my guy that he beat?
Taylor Fritz.
Who he's beaten, I think, 11 times
He's
in a row
11-0
now.
all time against Taylor
11-0.
Fritz. Man, next time, if I'm Taylor Fritz, next time I see the bracket and he's in the way, I just say, you know what? I'm going to stay home.
And tennis is so weird because these matches last for so long and there's so many ebbs and flows and the momentum shifts a lot. But Taylor Fritz has the crowd behind him. It's the U.S. Open. He's an American. And you just you think there's one point late in that match where it's like, oh, he's got this. He's about to get it done. And then it's just a couple serves here and there. And
Oh, it really can come down to a couple points.
Yeah.
It really can.
Yeah.
It's golf is a little bit like that too. You can hit an approach shot in not you or I, but you're watching the U.S. Open and somebody can hit an approach shot and it could be a matter of inches and boom, bounced into the rough or boom, bounce into 2 feet this way, you're birdie putting. 2 feet this way, you're hoping to get up and down and probably not.
Mm-hmm.
And that could cost you the tournament. It can often. Baseball, get a fastball just off the plate, you can live with that. Fastball 3 inches into the plate, it might be a 3-run home run.
Yeah, right.
Out of games. It's little bitty stuff. The margins are so thin. So you're exactly right about last night, tennis broadly speaking, and it sets up just another classic for Friday because we get another edition of Novak Djokovic, the all-time leader in Grand Slam victories for men's singles, against Carlo Alcaraz, who is world number 1.
Man,
the next
he got
goat.
he shaved the head, he looks scary. Yeah, he doesn't look he looked like the young, up and comer for all these years. Now he looks scary.
Now he looks scary.
Yeah,
he hasn't lost a set at the U.S. Open so far this year. He's a huge favorite on Friday, minus 395. But Djokovic has 24 Grand Slam individual titles. That's 2 more than Nadal, and 4 more than Roger Federer. Those 3 were considered that was an interesting, a great time in tennis for a span from 2008 to 2022. All 3 of them dudes were winning Grand Slams. And they took each other's sometimes.
Yep.
If even one of those, let's just say Federer doesn't exist, that's 20 in theory, 20 other Grand Slam titles that could be split up between Djokovic and Nadal.
Right.
Or if Djokovic doesn't exist, that's 24 that could be split up between Nadal and Federer and Alcaraz, I guess. So those 3 men were the faces of the sport for a long time. And reasonable people could agree or disagree on who's the best, rank them in whatever order. But as we sit here, September 3rd, 2025, Djokovic, he's got 24 Grand Slam titles. That is the record. This is his 53rd Grand Slam semifinal. That's a record. It's his 14th semifinal at the U.S. Open. That's a record. And though he is a heavy underdog on Friday, you still get that moment. Think about what this is in any other sport. It's the greatest of all time against the current greatest. So, if you had a deal where you could put Michael Jordan against whoever you think the greatest player in the world is right now, that's what this is. An aging legend against the greatest right now. 38-year-old Novak Djokovic, 22-year-old Carlos Alcaraz. It'll be Friday at Arthur Ashe Stadium. Barring a surprise, Alcaraz should get through it, but Djokovic actually leads the all-time series between the two, so it should be a fun day in New York City. Arthur Ashe Stadium, U.S. Open semifinals, men's side. Friday, winner advances to Sunday's final. Be back with GP's Carryout.
The NBA announced their dunk of the year yesterday. It was voted on by the fans, and it went to Ja Morant for his double clutch through Porzingis and Derek White. The call of it was excellent. That game we hung on to for a long time last season, but it was a spectacular dunk.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
What about the hanging your hat on the defensive end? Where does that come from?
And one thing my dad told me is if you want to get to the NBA, if you want to leave an impact, if you're a competitor like you say you are, you're going to be one of the best defenders on the court every time you step on there. He said you're not going to disrespect the game. You're not going to take it for granted. This is not a right, it's a privilege. So go out there and compete every day.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. Let's wrap this up with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we miss today?
Taylor Swift And speculation surrounding an upcoming appearance at the Super Bowl has intensified this morning after NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell was on the Today Show. And he was asked directly, is Taylor Swift going to appear at the Super Bowl? Perform at halftime? You know what he said? Taylor is always welcome whenever she wants. They pressed him. They said, does that mean things are in motion? He said, maybe. It's happening. Give credit to Jessica Benson. She's the one who brought this to the forefront.
It's true, and I don't know what the odds are now, but I would hammer Chiefs to win the AFC.
Because Taylor Swift might perform at the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Connect those dots for me. And I know who's dating whom.
You know, I just, I mean, they're a good team.
Yeah.
They're a good team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know who's dating who.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Here's what I would say. And perhaps Roger
I don't
Goodell,
want to connect too many more dots.
Here's Roger Goodell possibly misspeaking, but I pick up on these little things sometimes, and I make note of this. He said Taylor Swift is welcome to perform at the halftime at the Super Bowl whenever she wants. If you keep in mind, like it's September 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Kendrick was announced for the Super Bowl around this time.
Yes.
So like whatever is happening is already in the works.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever it could be Taylor Swift or Paul McCartney. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They already are way down the line with that. So if you're already way down the line with somebody not named Taylor Swift, do you really go on the Today Show and say Taylor could be here whenever she wants? Because what that implies is she wants to.
We'll kick off whoever we got.
Yeah. What that implies is if Taylor Swift called me right now and said I want to be Super Bowl next year, then she will be, and we just have to cancel on whoever else because I just told you she can do it whenever she wants. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. It suggests to me that it is in the works and it'll be formally announced when it's time to be formally announced. But Jessica had it weeks ago. Taylor Swift's probably going to be at the Super Bowl. Performing, not just watching her boyfriend. Fiance, I should say. Good. I'll look forward to that.
I look forward to it as well.
Yeah, I like Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Fine.
What's today's biggest game?
We're going Major League Baseball. Yankees at Astros. Down at Dakin Park? They changed this?
I don't know.
No, that's supposed to be Minute Maid Park or something like that. Dakin Park in Houston, Texas? Boo.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
The Yankees are going with Will Warren. Astros, Jason Alexander. Yankees minus 130, Houston plus 110. How you going to act? After going against the great Nolan McLean last night, you made another mistake.
Yeah. I'll go...
Yankees minus 130, Astros plus 110.
I'll just go Astros at home because they lost yesterday.
Astros plus 110. Bennett says take Houston inside a ballpark name I don't recognize.
What are we watching on TV?
Have you watched Unknown Number, the high school catfish?
No, but I've heard about it. That's the mom that like acted like, yeah, okay.
You saying too much.
I thought it was, it gave it away in the promos. I saw a commercial for it.
You might know what happened because it was in the news.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, it's bananas.
Yeah. Where's this on?
Netflix.
I want to see it because I'm familiar with the story.
It's number one in movies. It's bananas. I mean, and even when the person who ends up being responsible for all this tries to talk about it and explain it, bananas. We watched it last night. And my wife usually, like when we're watching a movie, I can never tell whether she even is watching or not.
Yeah.
She doesn't have much to say about it. Like we're just watching and I'll be like, you like this? And she's like, yeah. Or like, she'll be like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But she's very good at just watching. And she was getting angry at these people last night. She's yelling at the TV, cussing them out. It's bananas. It delivers.
I'm going to dive into this.
Hour 34 minutes, something like that. About 90-minute documentary. One thing, 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it's old school documentary. We didn't need it 8 parts. Just one part. This could probably have been more, but it's one. 90 minutes, you can get through the whole thing. It delivers.
Okay.
You will not be disappointed. It's got 84% approval from critics on Rotten Tomatoes. You won't be bored. You'll find it compelling, and you'll also be like, I think by the end of it, you'll go. Because the last scene is like perfect. And you're like, that'll be your main takeaway.
Okay. I'm in.
All right. It's Unknown Number, The High School Catfish, #1 movie on Netflix right now, netflix.com.
What's the best thing we've read?
I don't know if it's the best, but I did write about 1,100 words on John Calipari being back in the Grand Lobby at FedEx Forum yesterday. So if you haven't read that yet and you're interested in it, you can find it cbssports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Thursday. Michael Wallace, senior editor of Grind City Media, join me. We'll get ready for Eagles-Cowboys. NFL
yeah.
season gets underway tomorrow night. It's here, Bennett.
I can't wait.
Man, I think I can wait, but, I wouldn't mind if they speed it up a little bit. I can wait, but if they decided they want to do it tonight, I'd be ready for that,
That'd
too.
be fun.
I'm ready. Should be a fun show. Looking forward to it. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to enjoy mine. We'll meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good.